Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all my fellow friends and especially Dr. Zul. Today we are group 4. We'll present about the title we received, the third source of Shariah, the Ijma. Introduction of Ijma is a verbal noun of the Arabic word ajma which has two meanings. One, to determine, and two, to agree upon something. Definition of Ijma, the unanimous agreement of the mujtahidun of the Muslim community of any period following the demise of the Prophet on any matter. Essential requirement arkan of Ijma. According to the majority of ulama, unanimity is a prerequisite of Ijma. Two, the agreement of the mujtahidun must be demonstrated by their express opinion on a particular issue. Proof hujiyah of ijma. 1. In the Quran, Surah Al-Imran ayah 110 testifies some of the excellent qualities of the Muslim community, enjoin al-ma'ruf and forbid al-munkar. Types of ijma have two. 1. Explicit ijma, al-ijma as-sarih, and 2. Taj ijma, al-ijma al-sukuti. Our group, which is group 4, choose the issue of vaccination in the community. For the next session, I pass to Fazlin for identification issue.
Thanks to Aisha, next I will present about identification issue. Firstly, in 2019, they were shocked by the outbreak of contagious COVID-19 pandemic from Wuhan. Found a solution on December 8, 2020. Malaysia has become one of the countries that also implemented the National Immunization Program as a push to curb the spread of COVID-19 disease. According to an article from Sinar Harian, a result of the survey found that only 67% of individuals are willing to take vaccine injections. The remaining 70% are skeptical, while another 16% disagree to take the vaccine injections. The public becomes skeptical because of many rumors starting the vaccine contain lead. Article released by Sinar Harian, they have conducted survey through social media. They found that people who are anti-vaccine. Next, I would like pass to Nurul Izzati.
Firstly, Dr. Hanafia said that the people do not be concerned about the halal status of vaccination because the Ministry of Health is adamant about use or proceed in vaccine. There are several anti-vaccine group requests to produce phony vaccination certificates without taking vaccination. This gives an effect on destabilize to the health system. It also can influence the other community to refuse taking vaccination. So, Dr. Muhammad Rahimi said he was also seeing anti-vaccine sentiment that avoid them from taking vaccination. For the next slide, we'll continue by Najwa.
The next part is of our assignment is explanation. I will explain more about the Ijma. Ijma is the third Islamic constitution. Understanding of Ijma can be made in different ways, which is by verbal proclamation, by deed, or by a mentality. Categorized by two categories, which is Ijma Zani, or we call it as Ijma Sukuti, and Ijma Qati, or we call it as Ijma Sareh. Based on most researchers of usul fiqh, of the assessment that Ijma Sukuti can be utilized as contentions and suggestion in giving laws. Researchers who acknowledge the agreement of Sukuti can be separated into two sections. This contention of Zani and the contention of Khati. Researchers who acknowledge Ijma Sukuti as a Zani contention, in particular the assessment of Al-Qurki from the Hanafi school and Iman Ahmadi from the Shafi'i school. I will pass to Azira.
Thank you, Najwa. And then the assessment of the Qat'i contention is that of the Hanafi researchers, Imam Ahmad, and a portion of the Shafi'i researchers. Obviously, there are researchers who reject the agreement of Sukuti are Imam Malik and Imam Shafi'i. Back to the issue, vaccine intake has a relationship with Ijma. Muslim doctors and medical experts who specialize in the field of vaccine and viruses, seeking clarity on the composition of the coronavirus vaccine and its effects. I pass to Mirza for the next part of explanation.
Thank you, Azira. The vaccine itself permissible according to the Islamic law, as there is does not contain any forbidden substance. Many large fatwa councils around the world has already published Islamic legal studying the permissible the development COVID-19 vaccine. The Oxford vaccine uses most seasoned innovation which is known to be incredibly protect. The next thing that is very questionable among Muslim scholars is about the halal status of the vaccine release. Next, I will pass to Aina. Continue explain about solution.
Thank you, Mirza. Word of Prophet Muhammad SAW. Inna Allah lam yaj'al shifa'akum fi ma harama alaykum. Which means, surely Allah has not made a healer for you in that which He has forbidden to you. Narration of Al-Bayhaqi in Al-Sunan Al-Kubra. Based on the Shariah, it is clear that prohibited substances of physics cannot be used for medicine. But in this situation, it is legal to take medicine that has illegal source or unclear if there is no alternative to make halal medicine. Next, the law of vaccination based on the material used in the production of the vaccine. There are several parts have been mentioned by scholars. First, vaccine that contain a soft or material that should be used as well as have beneficial effects. Second, the vaccine contains a soft of the material that should be used, but it can use more harm to the body than its benefits. Third, vaccine that contain a soft or illegal substance or physics, but they have been treated with chemical or mixed with other substances and then changed in new substances. Next, I'll pass to Shafiqah to the next point.
Thank you, Aina. I will continue with the third solution, which is the use of vaccine is included in the practice of Qurba. Fadilah al-Sheikh Dr. Sa'al bin Nasir al-Shatri, member of the Committee of Kibar al-Ulama of Arab Saudi, said that the vaccine effect have been identified based on the research and the experiment that it can prevent the COVID-19 disease by the God permissions. Matter of the law, hakam of treatment because it is included as one of the medical types. This is referred to the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is take medicine. Taking vaccine is not a problem for him. In fact, it is included practice of kurba, which is ibadah. Is because the vaccine doesn't cause any other harm. In fact, it is bring benefit to prevent the individual from any serious illness. The fourth solution has been carried out by the scholar is take precaution against entering places where there is an outbreak. This is mean cannot enter or out from our place. This is referred to the hadith by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which means when you hear it epidemic in a place, then do not go there, and when it happens to your place, then do not run away from it. Hadith narrated by Imam Muslim. The next solution is by United Arab Emirates UAE government. Fatwa Council said that by having vaccine injection, it can prevent the spread of COVID-19 disease. We give fatwa to all Muslims the necessity of using COVID-19 vaccine. We call on them to cooperate with the government in the successful implementation with vaccination and respect all measures of preserve and care as well. We call on them to return to the God. It is hope that God will bestow on all people with His mercy. For the last solution, I will pass it back to Aina.
Last but not least, to sum up, that age of taking vaccine is an obligation to curb the symptom of infection disease to the public. Next, I will pass to Liana to continue our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Aina Afrika. So I will continue next part, conclusion on the research that has been done. Conclusion from the whole discussion on this Ijma. Ijma is used to make a decision on something new that is not found in the Quran and Hadith. We can Ijma is the agreement of all mujtahid after the date of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ijma also will not take place unless there is an agreement among scholars without excluding anyone from among them. We can conclude that vaccination is important for all individuals to safeguard the interests of all ummah. I will pass to Yatimi for the next slide to continue conclusion in the Ijma.
Thank you, Liana. Now I will continue to my part, which is summary. Summary that we can from this list is Islam give flexibility to use of medicine. They are sourced from illegal certain offences in emergency. Ijma is an agreement that maintains the status of Muslim community from the aspect of education, government, and community politics, that there is no law clearly stated in Quran, Hadith, and Sunnah. From our group, thank you.